Hello, good evening. It is September 29, 10:57 p.m. And I think when I checked this afternoon, 78 days until I leave for a new job. And that means like leaving everything here, well, mostly everything, for like quite a long time. And by new job, I mean United States Air Force. Anyway, I've always wanted to have like a little like documentary and just figure out what I was doing with my life, and just document stuff because things are always happening and time is always passing and I have no idea what's going on. And yeah, it's like sometimes I just feel like paralyzed in the idea of doing stuff. It's like sometimes I just don't want to do something because I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna be perceived and stuff like that. But you know what? It's okay if you get perceived, is what I tell myself, even though I'm still scared of being perceived. So therefore, this is a new project I will be working on. Maybe, who knows? Maybe it'll only get this far. But I will just see what happens. Yeah. Maybe there's more stuff to talk about. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff to talk about. It's like kind of crazy. 78 days is not really a crazy amount of time because when I first got my news, it was 117 days that I had until I would leave for the military. But how much time has passed in between then? What did I say, 78? Oh my goodness, that's like 40. Did I say 78? That means like 40 days have passed since I first got the news. And what has happened? I don't know. Technically, a lot of stuff has happened. I still go fishing. I still love fishing. Oh my goodness, all my fishing stickers are right here. I don't even know if there's anything embarrassing in the background. Anyway, yeah, so what else was I even gonna talk about? Let's look at my phone. Because I was supposed to, figure out. Oh, I'm going to, figure out who I am right now and then see if that changes later. And I don't know, just see, have a little mini time capsule of what is right now. Oh yeah. Anyway, back to like being perceived and stuff. It's like I think part of the reason why I never started something like this, and even though like deep down I kind of like always wanted to, is because I'm like, oh my goodness, people are gonna look at what I'm doing, and I'm like, oh, that's so embarrassing. Like, what the heck? Um, so in order to combat that, I'm just not gonna tell anybody about this. Isn't that so perfect? What a great solution. At least not anybody that I know. Maybe I'll like mention it briefly in like I don't know, like very cryptic conversation, but I probably won't go around like showing people all of this because then it'll be like, oh my goodness, people know who I am, and then it's like, okay, this might be like wrong or whatever. Maybe not wrong. I don't know about the right word, but people have an expectation of you. You know what I mean? And sometimes I feel weird breaking out of that expectation. You know what I mean? Or you know what? It's like there's an idea of me, and it's like I have to fit that idea, and I don't know. Maybe I am just not built for being true to myself or whatever. I don't know what that means. But I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting to come up with a new, not necessarily identity, but like whatever. Let's say that for lack of a better word. I remember when I first started college. One of the first things I was thinking like, oh my goodness, I can like completely reinvent myself. Even though you could technically reinvent yourself any second of any day, it's just that it's kind of hard when people already know who you are. They got like an expectation of you. So that's the plan for this. I'm gonna keep this more or less secret or what? Not necessarily a secret because if it's gonna be in the public, but you know, if people see it, they see it. Because there's also the idea of, oh, okay, if I wanted it to be not perceived by people, then I could just make it all private, make it all unlisted. And I could, but where's the fun in that? You know what I mean? Something, I feel like there's something interesting. There's still some deep down, like, desire to be, like, randomly found by some people that are like, oh wow, that is so cool and awesome, and that makes a lot of sense. Because when I make stuff, it's like, I do want them to be seen, you know what I mean? I like writing stuff, you know what I mean? And, like, when I write something I'm really happy about, I like when people read it, you know what I mean? So, maybe it'll be out there. So, if anybody that knows who I am finds this, that'd be really funny. But that is not the intention for now. And if you do, whatever. So, let's see what else I was gonna write down. I don't know. Yeah, sometimes it's fun being like vulnerable and open to the universe. Not necessarily like super duper in public and stuff like that. But who knows where that goes? I don't know. That's besides the point. That's besides the point. Um, if anything, one of the things I feel like I'm bad at, let's say, is talking to a camera. I feel like I'm talking like a lot quieter than I usually do. 'Cause it's like, oh my goodness, like I can hear like my parents in like the hallway or whatever, and I'm like, I feel so awkward um doing that. Um, so I think just being able to talk to the camera is something to get better at, and just recording stuff. I love the medium of video. I just don't take a lot of them. You know what I mean? Like to me, there's something like so embarrassing about like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna pull out my phone and record something. Like I don't know. I feel like I don't know. There's just something that's like ingrained in my head, and like the idea of like taking a selfie. I mean, I think that's why all my pictures of myself look low key terrible. And maybe it's because I didn't get that practice when everybody was getting taking selfies and stuff, because I was like, oh, that's so cringe and embarrassing. And I still think that's cringe and embarrassing, but I probably shouldn't, because then I would have so much more pictures of myself and that would be cool. But, this is where we are. So that's something I guess to work on anyway. Yeah, but I don't know. Who knows what's up? But this is the plan. This is what is up for now. Who knows? Maybe this is like terrible. Maybe I sound like terrible. Maybe the audio is terrible. Maybe I have something super embarrassing in the background. I can't even tell. Who knows? I don't know. So yeah, that's about it for now.